What if I told you that Muzan Kibutsuji, the cold-blooded villain from Demon Slayer, wasn't just the product of creative writing, but was inspired by real Japanese demons feared for centuries? In the shadows of ancient Japan, tales were told of creatures who walked among humans, feeding on their fears and flesh. These yokai weren't just stories, they were warnings. And Muzan? He isn't just a fictional king of demons. He's a modern reflection of those nightmares. This is the terrifying truth behind his origin. Muzan Kibutsuji's terrifying power doesn't come out of nowhere. He's rooted in the ancient yokai, Japan's legendary spirits and demons that have haunted stories for over 1,000 years. But these weren't just monsters. They were reflections of human fears. Disease, rage, shame, anything the villagers couldn't explain, they blamed on the yokai. Muzan's ability to shapeshift, to hide in plain sight, echoes the kitsune, a fox spirit that takes human form to manipulate and deceive. His blood curse mirrors the Jorogumo, a spider yokai that lures prey in with beauty, then poisons them slowly. Even his name, Muzan, means cruelty or pitilessness. He isn't just a villain. He's a perfect storm of all Japan's darkest legends, reborn in one body. That's why he's not just feared, he's remembered, like a curse that refuses to die. By the way, if you're enjoying this, dive into the real yokai that inspired Muzan. This is just scratching the surface. I break down the mythology behind anime's darkest characters every week. So if that's your thing, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. The hidden yokai behind Muzan Kibutsuji. Muzan Kibutsuji's power isn't just strength. It's a sickness, a curse that spreads like rot. With a single drop of his blood, he can create demons. But not as a gift, as an infection. This mirrors the yokai known as the Rokurokubi, women cursed to stretch their necks in the night, once human, now twisted by an unnatural force. Muzan's blood warps the soul. It amplifies hunger, strips away memory, and chains demons to his will, just like the Nurarahayan, a slippery, manipulative spirit who controls others by invading their homes and minds without them realizing it. He doesn't just destroy people. He reconstructs them into monsters. In folklore, this is spiritual possession. In Demon Slayer, it's domination. Muzan isn't a villain because he's powerful. He's terrifying because he rewrites what it means to be human. Long before demons appeared in anime, Japan had the Oni, massive horned beasts with burning eyes and twisted grins. Oni were the purest form of supernatural terror, the embodiment of rage, punishment, and chaos. They carried iron clubs, tore through villages, and were believed to drag sinful souls into hell. But Oni weren't always evil. Some were once human, corrupted by grief, hatred, or dark magic. This mirrors Demon Slayer's demon origin exactly. Muzan's victims aren't just killed, they're tempted, offered a second chance at life, at power, in exchange for their humanity. The transformation into a demon in this universe is deeply Oni-like, a loss of identity, a surge of monstrous hunger, and horns or claws marking the final fall. Muzan is no ordinary villain. He is the ultimate Oni maker, crafting monsters from broken people, like the myths of old, but with a modern, terrifying elegance. In every era of Japanese myth, there was always a king of Oni, a dark ruler surrounded by demon generals, each more terrifying than the last. Muzan is no different. At his side stand the 12 Kizuki, the strongest demons in existence, bound to him by blood and fear. This structure mirrors the ancient tales of Shuten Doji, the legendary Oni king of Mount O. He ruled from the shadows, commanding monstrous warriors to raid villages and defy the gods. Like Muzan, Shuten Doji was charismatic, cunning, and utterly ruthless. His lieutenants were loyal, not out of honor, but because they feared his wrath. The Kizuki are more than Muzan's elite. They are extensions of his will, his eyes, his blades, his proof that the age of humans is over, and the era of demons has returned. In ancient Japanese myth, the Nue is a spirit of deception and corruption. A chimera, a creature formed from pieces of multiple animals. It was a monster of paradox, blending beauty and horror. And much like the Nue, Muzan's creation of demons is an act of artificial life, a horrifying resurrection that twists the natural order. The Nue would appear from the clouds and unleash a deadly sickness upon those it targeted, just as Muzan's blood brings demons into existence with a terrible price, the loss of self, a descent into monstrous hunger. Deception is the key. The Nue tricked the villagers, bringing an invisible terror into their lives. Similarly, Muzan deceives his demons, promising them power, freedom, and immortality, but only chaining them to a life of torment. Both the Nue and Muzan's demons are bodies torn apart, not by violence alone, but by the act of becoming something they were never meant to be. The Nue was the symbol of corrupt transformation, a spirit that consumed the innocent. Muzan, in his own way, is its true heir, a master of horrific change, breaking human bodies to turn them into something unrecognizable. Among all of Muzan's terrifying powers, one is the most disturbing of all. He can appear as anyone, a nobleman, a woman, a child, a ghost. In Japanese folklore, this is the mark of the kitsune, the trickster fox spirit who wears a human face and walks among the living unseen. But unlike the kitsune, who often tests humans or plays harmless tricks, Muzan's disguises are weapons. His beauty is a mask, his elegance a trap. He moves through cities like a curse with a heartbeat, manipulating, killing, and vanishing into shadow before anyone suspects a thing. He doesn't just hide his power, he hides his intent. And in doing so, he becomes more than a monster. He becomes doubt itself. You may pass him on the street. He may speak to you kindly, but behind those perfect eyes is a predator, one who rewrites his identity as easily as he rewrites the fate of those who meet him. For all his power, all his transformations, Muzan Kibutsuji fears one thing above all else: the sun. The light that gives life to humans, brings death to demons. One touch, and their flesh burns. Their bones turn to ash. In Shinto belief, the sun goddess Amaterasu is the source of purity and truth. Her light exposes what hides in darkness. It was said that no evil could survive her gaze. For demons, who live on lies, shadows, and blood, the sun is the ultimate punishment. It's not just a physical weakness, it's a spiritual rejection. Muzan, for all his immortality, is forever denied the light. That's why he hides. That's why he sends others to kill for him. He's not a god. He's a cursed shadow, terrified of the one thing he can never possess. Is Muzan Kibutsuji just an anime villain, or is he the rebirth of an ancient archetype? The Oni King, the shape-shifting predator, the demon who fears the light? In Japanese myth, these beings were cautionary tales, reminders that power gained through darkness always comes at a cost. Demon Slayer doesn't just borrow from these legends, it revives them. Muzan isn't just inspired by yokai, he is a modern yokai, born of trauma, shaped by fear, sustained by blood. But unlike the old myths, there's a twist. The world now fights back. Demon slayers carry swords blessed by sunlight. Humanity doesn't cower in temples, it strikes. This is where myth meets manga, where the ancient Oni fall before the next generation, And at the center of it all is Muzan, the last shadow in the Age of Light. Even in silence, his eyes remain, watching, waiting, because evil never truly dies.
It just changes shape.
Muzan may be the king of demons, but he's not the only one born from myth. What ancient spirits inspired the Hashira? Which real-world legends shaped the Demon Slayer's powers? In the next episode, we dive into the mythological roots of the Hashira, from the Flame Pillar's connection to Fudo Mu, to the Serpent Pillar's ties to Japanese dragon lore. Demon Slayer isn't just a battle anime, it's a modern myth, and we're just getting started.
Liked this myth breakdown? Hit that subscribe button and join us next time as we explore the legends behind the Hashira.